Okay, so let's talk about Jazzy's training so we can stay consistent at home. So when we're working with Jazzy, we definitely want to reward her for doing the right behaviors, whether that's listening to us or just being calm in the house. And then we're going to use these tools to correct her for any unwanted behaviors or when she doesn't listen to the commands. So let's go over heel. Heel means walk next to me on a loose leash. So 85 to 90% of your walk should be in the heel position. The other 10 to 15% you can tell her free to go sniff and explore. Free is the release command for all of the commands that she has to let her know that she can go explore, sniff, and kind of do her thing, but within reason. She's still under control and everything. She can't act wild, but she is free from the command. So heel, walk next to me on a loose leash. When she's doing a good job, we're going to praise her, let her know good heel. A good job is keeping her head next to us on the left-hand side with no tension on the leash, nice and relaxed. And then if she makes a mistake, we're going to tell her no and follow through with the training equipment so we can let her know that, hey, that was a mistake and here's your consequence, no big deal, just do it right next time. So we don't want her pulling and zigzagging all over the place, we want her walking next to us. So we have these tools. First we have her prong collar. So how to take this apart, we're going to grab one of the links and you can see that this link is dangling down. Then we're going to push with our thumb that link down and it'll pop apart. Put it back together, we will squeeze the link into the slots. So what we're going to do is have her leash attached to the D-ring, which is the ring that has the little flat edge. We want to make sure that it makes a nice clean triangle. So if she makes a little mistake and tries to pull ahead, we're going to tell her no, give a little tug, and then remind her heel. That's all. So heel means walk next to me. She knows that. And then when she's doing a good job, good heel, and we're going to reward her for that. We also have her remote collar that we're going to use to stay consistent and follow through with our commands. So we have the little red dot right here, how we're going to turn on her collar. There's a matching red dot on the remote. You're going to see it on the side here, little red dot. We're going to touch those two together and it's going to turn her collar on. The reason we're going to use this is because we're going to follow through with our commands. So Jazzy has a choice to do what we ask or to not do what we ask, but there are consequences for both of her choices. So if she does what we ask, good, we're going to praise, treat, reward her for that. If she doesn't, we have to follow through with a correction, or else she's just going to be like, well, I don't really care if I don't get a treat right now, and then she won't be consistent and listen to our commands. So we have to follow through when we ask her to do something. If she doesn't, we give a correction. So on the remote, we have the on-off button in the back. We're going to push and hold that until the screen lights up. Once you see the screen on, you know you are good to go. We're going to focus on the black S button for Jazzy. So I'm going to put this on my hand and show you how it works. So we're taking Jazzy for a walk and she starts to walk ahead of us. That's not the heel. She's in the heel. She's supposed to be in the heel position. So we're going to tell her no, push the button and remind her heel. So no, heel, no, heel. That's how it's going to be for all of the commands. If she gets off the place bed, no, place. If she doesn't come when we call, no, come. If she doesn't lay down, no, down. So you're going to use this to follow through with all of your commands so she understands that you mean what you say and that the training happens at home, not just here at the training facility. So it's important that you stay consistent with having her wear this all day, every day, and having this available to you. So let's go over the rest of her commands. We went over heel, so we also have sit. Sit means stay until she is told free. Sit is more of a short duration stay, not a really long duration. That's down in place, so it's a short duration stay. For example, going through a doorway. We have her sit, we open the door, then we tell her heel, and we walk through the door together, or we tell her free, let her go, and then we close the door behind her. That way we can lock the door, whatever we need to do. So sit, whenever we open the door, we're going to remind her to sit, because sometimes opening the door, her old habit was just going through it, so we need to remind her to stay, but instead of having her memorize another word like stay, we just repeat the command again. So I tell her sit, I open the door, I say sit, and then I tell her free and we can go through the door together, or you can say heel and she walks with you through the door. So that is sit. If she gets up before you say free, no, button, sit, or you can use a little tug of the leash to remind her to sit, and then if she does a good job, good sit, free to go through the door. So you can reward her with praise or treats. Then we have down. Down means lay down and stay. So when you tell her down, if she doesn't, you're going to say no, and you're going to give a little tug towards the ground and a little button. You can use these simultaneously or one before the other, but you just want to make sure at one point she feels a little consequence because she didn't listen to your command. So it's no, pop, down. When she does stay, good, down. When we reward her for this command, we reward low, and you'll see that in the video because we don't want her popping up to get the treat, because then she's not in the down stay anymore. So reward low. When you want her to stay in the down and you want to walk away, you remind her down before you walk, because if you just walk away, she's going to follow you because she's going to assume you want her to be with you, and that's going to mess her up a little bit. So we remind her down, then we walk away. Then we always go back to her and tell her free. We don't go 10 feet away and then call her to us, because then she's getting rewarded for not staying in the down. Come when called is different. It's not used out of a stay. So we always go back to her, good, down, and then tell her free. And that brings us to place. Place is very similar to down, except place is a boundary. So she just has to, for example, if this box is place, she just has to keep all 4 feet on the boundary. She can stand, she can sit, she can lay down, she can roll over, she can do whatever she wants, really, as long as she follows the rules of place. She just has to stay on the boundary. So the rules of place: no vocalizing, so no barking or whining, no getting off the bed until she's told free, and then no chewing on the bed or her leash or anything on the bed that she's not supposed to chew on. And then other than that, she just has to hang out on place. When we reward her for this behavior, we put the treat on the bed so she knows the bed is the positive thing and produces the reward. We always go back to her to tell her free, and if she gets off the bed before we say free, no, place. And then when you're practicing in the house for the first few days, have the leash on so that if she gets confused, you can show her where your bed is in your home. And that way, if she gets off, you have the leash to guide her back. Especially if you're having guests over, definitely have the leash on Jazzy so you can help her the first few times for that big distraction of having company over. So place, good place, walk her to the bed, reward on the bed, and then don't free from a distance. Always go back to her like she's a mime in a box and you're opening the door, telling her free. Then we have come when called. So when you're practicing come when called, always have some sort of long leash on her when you're out in public or in a not fenced in area, in an open area, because it's a safety net for her. So she's got a 30-foot leash on, you tell her free. This is her time to sniff and explore and just kind of do her thing, maybe go to the bathroom. And then when you want her to Jazzy come or just come, when she runs to you, you're praising the action of her running to you. So you call her over here, you say come as soon as she looks at you. Good girl, good job. Take a few steps back because you're giving her a moving target to run towards, and you're a little bit more fun to chase because it turns into like a prey-play game. And then you have her sit, reward, good to go. You could tell her free, she can go explore again. If she doesn't come when you call, you will say no, correction, come as soon as she starts coming to you. Good girl, good job, because the correction happened over there. You're still the good guy. Good job for coming to me, and you still reward because the correction happened over there. You don't want her to think the correction happens twice. So you say no, correct over there. Good girl, thank you for coming to me. Here's a reward. Free, let's try it again. So you already gave the correction over there. No, come. Good girl, sit, reward. Then we have leave it. Leave it just means don't grab that off the floor. So when you drop something, tell her leave it. I would practice a little bit in your home with dog safe foods, hot dogs, chicken, cheese. That way she practices it. So you can then say okay for her to get it, but if you want to be safe, just don't let her get any food off the floor. Just don't say okay. Just if you want her to get it, pick it up and then give it to her. That way she thinks anything on the floor is off limits in case you accidentally drop something like a pill. So those are her commands. You want to reward the behaviors you want to continue to see to increase the rate of those behaviors. That means listening to commands or anything she does that you want to continue to see. Reward that, and it'll create a reward history with her, so she'll continue to do that because of the positive feedback. And then use this training equipment consistently to correct any unwanted behaviors, and then you'll see a decrease in those behaviors. So have fun, stay consistent, and now we're going to show you Jazzy's commands. Heel. Heel.
I thought you quit. I thought you retired. How you doing?
All right, how you been?
All right, man.
You still with the city and stuff?
No, they're not on the council anymore.
You got out of it, huh?
Yeah, I just retired from work.
Down. Good. Down. Good. Down. Good. Down. Good. Down. Good, down. Good girl. Down. Free. Good job. Okay. Okay. You didn't go for that. Leave it. Okay. Okay. Free. Okay. There you go. There you go. There you go. Leave it. Good job. Free. Okay. Good. 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 Leave it. Okay. Place. Free. Place. Good girl. Place. Place. Good job. Place. Okay, so let's go over the other features of her remote collar. So we know how to turn the collar on. We turn the collar off in the exact same way. So we have the red dot, matching red dot. We're going to touch those two together to turn the collar off. Touch them back together because we're going to turn the collar on. So you want to make sure this is on before you put it on Jazzy, and it'll flash a green light every few seconds to let you know that it is on and charged. Then the on-off button in the back. Push and hold that until the screen is blank. push and hold it until the screen lights up. So we've gone over the black S button. We now need to go over the red S button. So this is what you're going to use for everyday corrections when she doesn't listen to your command. The red S is for emergencies only. This is if she got off the leash for some reason and she's heading towards traffic and she's not coming to you when you call and you've said, no, come, and you've done that a few times and she's just ignoring you. That's when you have the red S button. It is going to add 20 to the level on the screen. So it is going to go up to 40. The reason we have this available is because when dogs get in that mode, when their adrenaline's pumping and they're rushing for the highway, normally they're right here, and that's where the 20 corrects them, and it makes sense to her, okay, it was a correction. But when her adrenaline's pumping, she's up here, she can ignore this. So the 40 jumps up to that level, so we match her energy or her adrenaline when she takes off like that. It's for emergencies only. I have not needed this for Jazzy, but you have it just in case you need it for her. So the reason we turn this on and off is because in the morning you want to turn it on and put it on Jazzy. She can wear this 12 to 14 hours a day, take it off at night. It will last about 2 days on a charge, so you don't have to charge it every single night. And I wouldn't leave it on the charger overnight because then it could wear the battery down. So put it on in the morning, take it off at night, turn it off, and then you can charge it every other day. So it's important that she wears this every day. You can put it anywhere underneath because that tends to be the more sensitive part of her neck. We don't really want it on top, so anywhere underneath for her. And then every few days, like if you have it on this side, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, put it on this side, and then just alternate because this does fit snug. You should only be able to fit 1 to 2 fingers under the collar once she's wearing it because it should fit nice and snug like a watch, not like a necklace, because we want the contact points to make connection to her skin so she actually feels the collar consistently. And then we have the remote, so let's go over all the features of this bad boy. So we went over the boost. Now let's talk about the dial. So 20 is working for her right now. This can change because dogs change as they get older, and as they learn the training, they tend to be less pushy and they will accept your correction at a lower level, or she might push you a little harder at home and she needs a higher level. So how to adjust this? Right now you'll see that it doesn't move because it was locked. It is locked in. To unlock it, push down and hold until the 1D at the top starts flashing. Once that flashes, you know that you can adjust the level to a lower or higher number, whatever Jazzy needs. If you notice you have to push 20 a million times, it's probably not quite high enough to get the point across. If you're pushing it and she's really reacting, then we need to turn it down because again, she has different levels wherever she's at. So she might be more distracted here than at home or vice versa. So if 20 is not working, try 25 or 30, and then if 25 seems to be too much, go down to 15 or 10, depending on what she needs. So put it at the level you want, and then we're going to lock it in place so that we don't accidentally turn it up or down if we have this in our pocket. So then we have the on-off button. We're going to go over that again. So pushing and holding it will turn the remote off, but if you tap it again, that turns a little flashlight feature on. I love this feature. That way if you have Jazzy out at night, you can see her at night. So then we tap it to turn it off. And then make sure when you put it on her that the light is facing out. That way you're more likely to see it, because if you put the light facing towards her shoulder, it's probably not going to be very easily seen because of her hair and everything. The little M/C on the back, you don't have to worry about that button. It just changes the setting from momentary to continuous. What momentary is, if I push and hold this button, it will only stimulate for that quick second. Continuous will stimulate the whole time. She does not need that at a high level. We use that as a lower level in the beginning of training. Then we have the T button over here. T stands for vibrate. You can also change the setting to make a noise, but I think vibrate does the trick. So what I like to do is make sure that I turn the collar on and I push vibrate to make sure I know that it's on before I put it on Jazzy. And later on down the road, I'm talking, 6 months from now, she's doing a good job and you want to use the collar, but she's doing really good and you just want to give her like a little warning. Vibrate's the perfect option for that because it still gives her a consequence, but it's not a stimulation. So that might be something you can consider using in the future. The charging port is on the back. This is waterproof, so make sure that you close this to keep the electronics safe. And then underneath here by the prongs, we have this one. And it comes with a charger, Like I said, it's rechargeable, so charge it like every other day so you don't wear the battery down. Ooh. Here's the charger that it comes with. And then this is the original strap that it came with. It's just a belt buckle style versus the quick snap style. I like this because it makes putting the collar on super easy, and this bungee has a lot of give, so it's not going to be too tight on Jazzy. If for some reason this bungee wears out, you can just take a screwdriver and replace it with some sort of hair tie, so you don't have to worry about that if it wears down, because it's a little bit of a thinner bungee. You can just replace it with a screwdriver. Just unscrew it, replace it. Then we have the little tool to change the prongs out. Jazzy's hair is not too long and thick, so I did not see the need to change her to the longer prongs, but you might want to do that in the winter because of her winter coat. And this little tool is how you change it. Underneath here, the instruction manual to go over all the buttons in greater detail, but we covered everything that you kind of need to know with this model. It does reach up to a ½ mile, it's waterproof, and it has a 2-year full warranty. So if anything happens to the model, save this information so you can get a replacement. Again, 2 years. I haven't had any issues with mine, and I've had it for like 3 or 4 years now. So if you have any questions, let us know. But have fun, stay consistent, and make sure you work with Jazzy and just stay consistent with the commands. Follow through, reward what you want to see, correct what you don't, and all will be well. But let us know if you have any questions.